Welcome everyone to day one of Mega Rising Meta. And what I have is a way to deal with the Megas. It's the first day. You might not have any, but you still want to play the game and you want to punish some of these whales, okay? I get it. Before I throw the deck list up on screen, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, like the video. 80% of you are not subscribed. We got to fix that, man. We got to fix it. I really appreciate it. And while you're importing the deck list, leave the video playing, boost the watch time. So we have Genetic Apex Charizard. It is the only card in this game with the capability of winning you the game in one turn. It's the only card that can do it. Charizard caps out at 200 damage. I guess there are some other cards that can do 200 damage through weird requirements, but don't worry about those. Charizard's going to do 200 damage, and with a red, I can't believe we're playing red in Genetic Apex Charizard, but it will do 220, and that'll knock out basically any Mega. Now, you're going to see some differing gameplay because, you know, I was trying out the list. I was seeing what cards I needed, what cards I didn't. And the first deck that we're up against is a Mega Absol, which is fantastic for me. I know this guy's going to try to make my life awful, discard my supporters, whatever. But getting into that Charizard EX quickly means all I'm left with is getting 4 energy on it, and I know I can win the game. So this deck also did get a pretty good buff through this new Flame Patch item card. This Flame Patch item card allows you to attach a fire energy from your discard to your active Pokemon. This functions in 2 different ways that are very, very cool. Number 1, if Charizard attacks, that is obviously you can use a Flame Patch and an energy attachment, and it will be powered up, ready to go again. So you can get back-to-back knockouts with just a 4 energy Charizard, which has obviously never been possible before without Dawn shenanigans, whatever. I don't know what you guys have been building. Maybe you're weird. Another very good function of it is when we used to play Genetic Apex Charizard, we would run like an X speed and double leaf, or maybe double X speed and a leaf, a lot of retreat cards, because a big thing is, you know, 4 energy is a lot. We need to keep energy in play. And look at that. I get 4 energy on the Charizard. The guy just concedes. He knows the game's over. Beautiful. Beautiful. We need a way to keep energy in play or kind of preserve those attachments. So what you can do is if you start Charmander, you get attached to the Charmander, retreat into the Moltres, and hit a Flame Patch. And now you're using Moltres' Inferno Dance without needing an X speed or anything like that. So they have 2 different functions. They function as if they are X speeds, because honestly, using X speed in a Moltres, if you go first without an energy attachment, is usually whatever in most matches. It doesn't matter all that much, because you might get Sabrina'd, you might get repelled, and then the X speed was a waste, and then you don't have a way to attack with the Charmander or the Moltres next turn. So it's honestly fine to leave the Charmander in the active spot for that first turn. We do find a research here. We're going up against Mega Blaziken, and we get Flame Patch and Moltres, which would have been nice. It's not totally necessary. But what I'm actually going to do here is, like I'm saying, keeping energy in play on the Charizard is very important. So I'm going to attach to the Charmander and use this Flame Patch now so that I keep 1 energy on Charmander at least. And I'm looking at this, and there's like a slight debate on whether I go into the regular Charizard. The regular Charizard is here for Oricorio. It is a 3rd option. It's really not a bad option against a deck like Blaziken, because I'm going to tell you, I don't think they're playing Giovanni day 1. I don't think they're playing Giovanni day 1. And that means that Charizard's going to live 1 Blaziken attack. So maybe that baby Charizard can swing into a Blaziken first and fire off a back-to-back attack and knock out the Blaziken for game. You see in the list, I don't have Guzma. I had Guzma game 1. I took the Guzma out because as of right now, I'm not expecting Blazikens and Mega Gyarados and Mega Ampharos and, you know, all those big Mega decks to be playing a Giant Cape just yet. I think day 1, everyone's trying to get away, or probably, you know, for the next week or so, everyone's going to try to get away with as much as they can. And honestly, when you have a 210 HP Pokemon, what is forcing you to put a Giant Cape in there, right? It might fix the math in some places, but more often than not, the Giant Cape, that extra 20 damage, 20 health on your Mega isn't going to do a whole lot. Now, this is an interesting build, playing it with the Snorlax. It's pretty cool because, I mean, with these megas, man, there's a whole bunch of different ways you can play it, and a very strong option is forcing your opponent to essentially take a 5-point game, right? Like, if my opponent makes me go through 2 Snorlax and a Blaziken, I've had to take 5 points in order to win the game. Now, in this case, I'm not really in a rush. I don't have red in hand. If I had red in hand, I would be feeling a lot more like, all right, we could go with Charizard. We got quite a bit of energy on him. But since there's no red in my hand, I'm fine with just taking the slower approach. And my opponent just used a berry. He could have second berry, but I'm not counting on my opponent to have second berry. And we use Pokeball, get a Moltres. It doesn't really matter. And I'll just play May and see what I can find. I don't really need to play the May. I'm debating here whether or not I keep Big Charizard or Little Charizard. I don't really foresee it mattering all that much later on in the game. And I'm just going to go into my Charizard with 7 energy. Because if my opponent doesn't have Berry, he won't be able to attack with Snorlax this turn. If my opponent has... I might top deck red if he sends up to Blaziken. There's a lot of different ways that I think sending up this Charizard is fairly safe. But he does have the berry. And at that point, while I'm looking at my opponent with a 5-card hand, I am thinking, dude, this deck definitely plays Flame Patch, like, for sure. If you're powering up another attacker that isn't Blaziken, you have the Flame Patch in the deck. So, I know I'm going to need to take a second here and maybe just try to buy myself 1 turn, because the Lily's not going to put my Charizard EX out of range, unfortunately. So that's not going to do me too much good to attack into this Snorlax. But if I wait a turn, I can attach to the other Charizard, get him ready, and hopefully with a Flame Patch, I can just make the energy work. My last Flame Patch in deck. I would also love to just go Sabrina on this Mega Blaziken and get a hit in, but he benches a Torchic. So now I know that's not going to be possible. And like I said, my opponent already played both berries, so there was no concern there for really anything. I knew he wasn't attacking, and as long as I didn't damage the Snorlax as well, because that deck probably plays Ilima. I would think, or maybe a Lyra, like it would probably play something to move the Snorlax. I would rather not take my chances by doing 60 damage to it with Slash. I knock out the Snorlax, and now I'm sitting on Flame Patch and Sabrina. So, unless my hand gets disrupted here, which again, list early are being very, very greedy, man. They're being very greedy, these Mega decks. From what I've seen. Everyone's just trying to make the Mega work and not playing any of the supplemental cards that we usually do. Now, you see here, sometimes the way through the Mega is not through the Mega at all. And that's why I think Sabrina is going to be very, very powerful this format. Because being able to avoid this guy is huge. So we just Sabrina, go for that knockout on the Combusken, and that will win us the game. So, yeah, the Genetic Apex Charizard deck is a lot of fun. This new Flame Patch really, really smooth things over, as well as the new May. The new May is very good. I would like to get a second May in here, I think. There are some cards that I definitely would love. One of them being like a potion. I did encounter a Dark Tina. And a big problem with Dark Tina is, I mean, we got to go all the way back to Shining Revelry, I think. Was that the last time I think Shining Revelry was like the last time Genetic Apex Charizard was anything. Shining Revelry, a problem was if you start Charmander going first, your opponent gets a Darkrai ping on it, then it's just like ready to be Cyrused at any point in the game. So you would run like a potion or two in order to prevent that Cyrus on your Charmander, because that's really all you want to do is set up the Charizard safely, and a Charizard attacking back to back can kind of just handle a Dark Tina deck. Kind of crazy to be playing Dark Tina day one. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think you are a sick and twisted individual, but what can you do, man? Debating an energy attachment here. I'm looking at a Zorua, so I figure, well, if I attach to the Moltres, then at least I'm forcing an evolution here. I do get kind of hard punished by getting only 1 energy off of the Inferno Dance. Inferno Dance is a horribly annoying card, a horribly annoying attack. Sometimes it's going to do what you want. Sometimes, man, you will get a Charizard set up and still lose the game because your Moltres went 0 for like 9 coin flips. It's happened. It's really ridiculous. It is just so cool, though, that like the first deck I'm building is Genetic Apex Charizard, because this was the first deck I built when the game came out. When the game came out, before I was making any content on it, I really wanted to play the Charizard deck. I thought it looked the coolest to me, and that's what I cracked the packs for. And so now we're here a year later revisiting it. By the way, happy birthday to Pokemon Pocket and me. Way more. I got the best birthday gift in the world last year, and now I get this cool Mega Rising update. Like every year, I'm just gonna get something sick for my birthday from the game I love. Very, very cool. Hey, make sure you guys are subscribed, because stream later today for sure. For sure. As soon as I'm done work, it's pre-work for me. Post-work, we're gonna be streaming. I did pull a good amount of megas. I got Mega Altaria, I got Mega Ampharos, and I got Mega Blaziken out of my pack. So I think, for the most part, I got pretty lucky. I didn't really get anything cool as far as, bling goes, but I did get a few different decks I can play day one, which I'm very happy about. Especially because Mega Altaria was like my #1 card I wanted to see. I'm so excited to play Mega Altaria, and that's probably all we'll be doing on stream. So again, if you're interested, make sure you guys subscribe and come along to watch. Little serious topic that we got to talk about, because there's not much more to go on about Charizard, right? It's Charizard. I want to talk about the fact that we're not getting ranked until the end of the month. I am honest. I am appalled. I am appalled. The 1 year anniversary, the biggest set we've had since the start of the game, and we don't get to play ranked until a month in. And it's only going to last 2 weeks. Whether or not that bothers you is, I assume a lot of people on my channel, that probably is very disappointing to hear. But whether or not that bothers you or not, I don't see, I honestly just want to know, like, what are we doing, dude? For real, what are we doing? Because we are a year into the game, we're asking for more game modes, and yes, you're giving us more game modes, there's more events and everything, but why do we have to take one away in order to do that? I don't know the statistics on it. I don't know how many people actually play ranked, what portion of the player base does ranked, but are we really incapable of running ranked and like a win event at the same time? Why is that even an issue? How is that a problem? Like, you're just taking away content in order to add new stuff. Why can't everyone win? I don't understand why everyone can't win, man. It doesn't make any sense today. And I am the kind of player where if there's a casual game mode and there's ranked, I will never touch the casual game mode, like, ever. Everything I'm doing is in ranked, because I want to feel like when I'm playing the game, I'm doing it for something. No matter how arbitrary these online points are, I still want to, like, know that I'm grinding for a reason and that I'm getting something out of it. Turn 1, you can see there, I go for the Charmander Retreat Flame Patch, and I get Rare Candy Charizard. Pretty broken start, to be honest. I want to know that, like, the time I'm putting into it is amounting to something that I can see. Playing casual is like, it's fun. I like playing the new decks, but I would 1000% rather play ranked and see how my decks are doing against the best decks. Just everything that comes with it, man. So I am incredibly disappointed. We're only going to get 2 weeks of this ranked season, and we have to wait an entire month to get it. So, like, it is what it is. I'll probably be doing some more online tournaments this month to get my, like, competitive fix. Because, dude, what else is there to do, man? Casual is pretty whatever to me. I am gonna, like, I'm gonna be having fun playing all the new cards. I just wish I could do it in ranked, and I don't know why we had to cut ranked for a full month in order to do these new events. Like, I don't understand. I really don't. It doesn't make a bit of sense to me. Yeah, it's baffling. It's absolutely baffling. Now, what more to say about Mr. Charizard? What more to say about you? He's a very thick boy, I guess. I don't know. He's got 180 HP. Again, so cards I would want in here are, like, honestly, a giant cape would be fine. A potion, like I said, so a little bit more heal would be nice. Maybe second May if you're having trouble setting up. I'm honestly playing one May in here because I didn't pull a second May. I didn't open too many of the Blaziken packs. I really was only opening them for the Flame patch so I could make this video. And I ended up pulling double Mega Blaziken, so I'll get to try him out. But sadly did not get 2 May, so just 1 May in the deck. But maybe that's enough. Maybe we don't need 2. I mean, I'm finding that, like, I'm finding the Pokemon just fine. And the May's just kind of like a little bit of a bonus. Now, we are getting a little bit, you know, lucky here. We got Rare Candy into the second Charizard. Against these 1-point decks, man, you got to just look to set up 2 Charizard, to be honest. Especially one where they have Rampardos, which does 130 damage, right? Like, you need some way, because you're not healing through a Rampardos attack and a Silvally attack. It's just not happening. This is not the deck for it. Most decks are not the deck for it. Blaziken can do it, but Blaziken's not even going to one-shot the Rampardos. So this actually seems like a pretty strong deck. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, that actually... Wait, it seems kind of good, man. But we go to the baby Charizard, our second guy. He could have been a Charizard EX too. It wouldn't have mattered. And no, my footage ended. No, what happened? All right, well, ignore that. I'll tell you what happened. He promoted Skull Fossil and conceded. It got cut a little early, dude. No. That's gonna be it for the video. Hey, let me know what decks you're most excited to try. Again, I'm playing Mega Altaria all day on stream today when we go live. So, hey, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're subbed. See you on the next one.